Use this time wisely to continue to prepare. While things are being restocked on the shelf, don't wait until things are like 2 months ago when everyone was panic buying to continually restock your preps. Hey everybody, it's Magic Prepper, and today I'm going to talk about how you got to stop being complacent and get out there and continue to prepare. Just because the shelves are getting restocked at the grocery store, just because ammo is finding itself back on the shelf, and just because you think you have enough medicine and supplies to get through whenever another resurgence might occur, make sure you keep getting more. Right now is a great time for all those new preppers out there to realize what they were missing in their preps and what they didn't have enough of during the last couple months that they should be getting more of right now. I wanted to go ahead and show everybody the amount of items I was able to put together in the last few days that I wanted to stock up on and make sure that I was continually putting away in my stockpile. And the reason for that is because what we witnessed over the last few months was panic buying of all sorts, and how quickly our supply chain wasn't able to keep up when the entire general population decided to go out all at once and get all of the same items as each other. Now I'm seeing some of these items showing back up, and now is the time when you have to make sure you go and get those items before they start to run out again. So really quickly, if you do want to stay prepared and you're worried about anything related to SHTF, hit that subscribe button below so that way we can keep that conversation rolling and we can continue to prepare together. So I went out to the store today and I thought, I kind of want to share with everybody some of the things I've been stocking up on, especially now that things are a little bit more available. And there's a lot of people out there getting extremely complacent and using this idea that things are coming back online to think that they're good to go. You know what? All right, we're done. We don't need to prepare anymore. We don't need to store any food away anymore because everything's opening back up and we're getting back into a situation that's comfortable and we don't have to worry about running out of these things. But that's the wrong line of thinking. Right now, your line of thinking should look more like, how do I get these supplies now so that when the next time this happens, and there's a very high chance that that's going to happen, I don't have to rush out to the store. I don't have to wait in the huge lines to get the supplies that my family and I need, and I don't have to be the person who's getting price gouged just to get basic items that everybody wants. So head out to the store now. Start restocking now while it's there. As you can see, I was able to get lots of basic dried foods, right? Those were flying off the shelves just a couple months ago. It was hard to get rice, it was hard to get beans, big jars of peanut butter were gone, it was hard to get pasta, all that kind of stuff that's dried goods that can store for a long period of time and that people definitely feel they need in case they ever have to be stashed away in their homes for a long period of time, were hard to get. And now they're back on the shelf. But for how long? So that's something you have to consider. And I was able to buy large bags of beans, large bags of rice, and all those items were hard to come by just 2 months ago. So did I buy more? Yes. Do I have a lot already? Of course I do. But there's no reason not to continually get more now so you're ahead of the curve for the next time something like this happens. The same thing can be said about paper towels and toilet paper. I was able to buy these literally today, okay? 2 months ago, could I have said the same thing? Probably not. But now I can, and that's something that everyone should keep in mind. Do you want to fall behind again? You don't have to look like a crazy person going out and buying pallets and pallets of toilet paper. But if each time you visit the store, you pick up another pack, even if you don't need it, you might not run out as quickly next time or be any of the people who are freaking out about not having it. So yes, I picked up more paper towels, I picked up more toilet paper. I don't need either one of these right now to get by, but I want to buy more when I can because I don't want to find myself in a situation like many of the people out there did just a short time ago, okay? The other thing I want to mention is medicine. Medicine is going to be harder to come by if something like this happens again or if we have a resurgence or anything along those lines, because being able to treat at-home ailments without having to go to a doctor or an emergency room or something like that during something like a pandemic is very important. And a lot of these things were also hard to come by, especially vitamins. I was finding a lot of vitamin sections at the store very empty just a few months ago, and people were getting ready because they wanted to be able to build up their immune systems. And multivitamins and things of that nature are important for if you do end up having to finally break into your rice and bean stash, you still don't want to be malnourished and not have the nutrition you need. And having vitamins can help you get through some of that without lacking in the department of all the different vitamins you need when it comes to eating a full, healthy diet. So I picked up lots of vitamins. I picked up cold medicine. I picked up some hygiene supplies. I picked up laundry detergent, another thing that was hard to come by for a little bit there. You know what? The store was still out of bleach. Still can't get bleach, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. If you see bleach, it's obviously an item that's going to disappear quickly. So something like that, something like Pool Shock, all those items can definitely come in handy and help you keep things clean, sterile, help treat your water if need be. But they're hard to come by still. So just imagine next time around, if things are worse than this time, how hard it's gonna be to get those items. So I don't need more laundry detergent, but I got more. I don't need more of these medicines. I don't need more allergy medicine. I don't need more Pepto-Bismol. I don't need any more ibuprofen, but I wanted to make sure I had plenty just in case you get to a point where we were just recently at, where those things were hard to come by, or maybe it turns out something along those lines of medication is something they suggest using in order to help with any symptoms or prevent maybe catching something in the future. And imagine how quickly that's going to disappear if that's the case. So make sure you invest your money, get your preps together. And of course, if you're on this channel, you know that I like guns. So I went ahead and made sure I had plenty of supplies when it came to ammunition, as well as reloading supplies too, to make sure that if things ever got to a certain point where you weren't able to access more ammunition or access the ability to reload anymore, that I had enough laying around in order to get through whatever might, occur. And I was able to buy some more powder. I was able to buy some shell casings. I was able to buy some actual manufactured ammunition as well, and even some lower parts kits for AR-15s and stuff like that was important to get as well, because some of my local gun stores were running out of those types of things. They didn't have any more lower parts kits. They didn't have any more reloading components. And now that I'm able to get some more, I picked some up because I don't want to find myself in that position. And especially when it comes to firearms and everything else, you should have backup parts kits, you should have extra recoil springs, all those kinds of things to make sure that if you have to maintain that firearm during a long-term scenario, you're more than able to. That being said, online order is also very important. If you want to get specific items when it comes to the gear, any of the survival goods that we all like to have as preppers and people of a prepared mindset, you should be ordering that stuff now. Amazon seems to be catching back up. Other outlets such as Midway USA or Brownells, they seem to be catching back up, moving a little bit quicker in the shipping process and getting things together a little bit faster. Get those specialty items now, because what we witnessed during the last couple of months was a very large slowdown of any of those large distributors for online sales, and trying to get those items before you need them could be an issue in the future here when there's a resurgence. Because let's say you're like me and you said, okay, I've taken enough crap from the community that I have to figure out a way to make this work, because they're probably all right about the idea of putting a light on my handgun. Now, I have been very stubborn about this for a long period of time, but I finally said, you know what? I'm gonna put a light on my handgun. I'm gonna use this as a self-defense, home defense weapon, and I need to be able to see and acquire a target in the dark. And I was being stubborn because, I always carry a flashlight anyway, and I have night sights, and I felt pretty confident without the need of a light, because honestly, just the extra weight in the front isn't my favorite thing to do when it comes to shooting and when it comes to being quick on the draw. But I can see the advantages, I understand, and I saw a video from another channel and I said, okay, I'm just gonna give it a shot. So I ordered an O-light, stuck it on my pistol. I'll probably make a video about it down the road here. But it was something I was able to get very quickly right now. And it was something I decided I needed as part of my prepping gear and as part of my self-defense gear. That being said, if I waited until another resurgence to order this light, I might not have gotten it quickly enough. Or if things shut down or logistics were stopped because maybe they found out that things were spreading thanks to the mail system, not just, anything else related to logistics. I might not be able to get it as soon as I wanted it, and I might not have it once I decided it was something I needed. So place your online orders while things are good. Get into the logistics while they're hot and while they can move quickly, and don't wait until we get to another situation where the Amazon warehouses are closed down, the distributors are way behind, and things just aren't filling back up as quickly as they should, okay? That being said, I do have some items that I put together from a large sporting goods distributor that I was starting to work with, and I'm starting to move forward to try to work on some business moves here on the online intranet, you might say. And one thing I was able to do was build an AR-15 for one of my friends, basically minus the lower, because I don't have an FFL, so I didn't want to deal with any of the regulations regarding background checks or anything along those lines, but I still can distribute and sell these parts to people who, qualify legally to own them. And I was able to build in a custom AR-15 build for him from my distributor for much less cost than what you could do building it yourself together. And I did this for him because he's a friend of mine, but then I thought, maybe there's a lot of people out here that watch channels like this that want to do these things and are on a budget and aren't sure the best way to do it. You could buy like a Delton complete AR build minus the lower, and that's a good deal. But do you want better components? Do you want higher quality barrels? Do you want better triggers? Do you want better stocks? All those kinds of things that are, involved in buying an AR-15 or building an AR-15. What is it you want from it? So, just so you're aware, I put all these parts together for him. I ordered these from my distributor, and it took 3 weeks to get this stuff in. Usually it's about a 2-day turnaround from this distributor. This is how backed up everything is. Don't waste your time waiting until you're able to feel more comfortable. Keep prepping now, and you're not going to get as far behind. And just saying, if you guys have any interest in working with me when it comes to building custom ARs or anything along those lines, and you want some higher end parts and you're looking for deals when it comes to like a bundle or something like that, just go to my website, magicprepper.com, and send me a contact form on my contact widget, and then that way you guys can just let me know what you're thinking about, what you're looking for. I can give quotes, all kinds of stuff. I am just trying to do what I can to help people out, especially on a budget. And the reason I got into start doing some of the stuff that I'm doing now is because I've always been budget oriented and I like to get a good deal. And now I feel like I have the ability to maybe push some of those good deals onto you. So if that's something you're interested in, send me a message on my website and we'll see what we can do. But I did want to mention that all these parts I was able to put together is what he selected, and it took forever. It took forever. And that's what you need to understand. Things are really backlogged, and don't wait until you decide you need these things 2, 3, 4, 6 months from now, and we're back in the same position we were before, or maybe worse. This is something we should have all learned from this whole situation. The supply chain is fragile. It can break down very easily. Logistics can't keep up with what the demand became when everybody decided they needed things. And stuff we didn't really consider to be an issue, toilet paper, disappeared quickly. So use the time you have now wisely and keep preparing, keep prepping, keep building your preps, and make sure that you're focused on the things that matter. Food matters a lot. Medicine, toiletries, cleaners, all those things that we need on a daily basis to kind of keep things rolling also matter a lot. And then security matters, especially to me. So if that's the case, make sure you're getting ammunition when it's available, reloading supplies when it's available. Buy things like your weapon mounted light when it's available or when it can get to you in a timely fashion, instead of waiting until the point where you can't actually acquire one and then you just end up dealing with the fact that you don't have one down the road. So even me, being as stubborn as I was about putting a light on my pistol, finally got one because I didn't want to end up in a situation where I wasn't able to get one any longer, and I wish I would have had one. So that's what you have to keep doing. Keep preparing. Understand that a resurgence is highly likely in this whole situation we're in, and that if you don't keep using the time you have right now wisely and use the ability that you have to go out and restock some of these supplies since they're back on the shelf now, you're going to regret it in the future. And you don't want to be that guy in line at Costco for 4 hours while there's 700 people around you who all could possibly be a problem when it comes to getting sick. So, that being said, leave comments below. If you have any questions about any of the things I've brought up here today, let me know. If you're interested in working with me when it comes to AR builds or anything along those lines, please send me a message on my website and I'll definitely see what I can do for you. I also have great affiliates like Matador Arms who have awesome AR accessories, and if you want to, get some cool things that you can put on your AR and make it a little more versatile, go ahead and use my affiliate link that I pin in the top comment, so that way it supports the channel and you guys get something that's awesome. One thing they have is really cool. It actually is an adapter that goes into your mag well, and it can make your standard mil-spec AR-15 lower, except 9mm pistol mags. It's super cool, so check it out. And all I'm saying, guys, is I know we're all on a budget. And I know not everyone has the ability or the funds to buy all this stuff all at once. And that's totally fine. That's what we have to work with. But if you're on that kind of a budget, make it a program or a plan where you go in bi-weekly when you get paid or something like that, and you put together these items and you say, this is what I'm gonna do every time I get a paycheck. I'm gonna put this much money into buying more preps, not stuff you're gonna use and not stuff you need right this second, but more preps, more food, more supplies, more ammunition, or whatever it might be. So that way when things get bad or turn into the way they were 2 months ago, it's not gonna be a problem for you. And that's what we should all be shooting for, because none of us wanna be the guy who doesn't have what they need at the end of the day, okay? Or lady, I don't forget you, promise. Okay, anything else at all? Comments below, and that's gonna be it for Magic Prepper.